Hey y'all, it's the start of a new year, 2024, and we've got a new kayak for the fleet. It's also a 2024. It's a Hobie Pro Angler 360 XR, the 12-foot model. We're going to do a short walkthrough on it, starting from the bow. Basically, it has the same bow handle with an A-trail. Same bow hatch with a bucket. The black tubes in there are the rod tubes for the horizontal rod holder assembly. So basically, that's pretty much the same on all Pro Anglers. This one being a 12, it's a decent size hatch. If it's a 14, it's an enormous hatch. Then you have the two plates that you can custom configure for fishing tools and equipment. And it has a T-track in it. It also has a sail mast for the sail kit or the bimini. With the 12, you have two rod holders on each side. With a 14, you have a total of 3 on each side. Here we see the XR. This is what's new for 2024. The drive is very similar, but how it mounts in and how you control it is a new system. We see here we have a 3-way pass-through. That's kind of a Hobie standard. One on port, and the other one was on starboard. We've got a rectangular hatch in front of the seat. And it comes with tackle boxes. We can remove the boxes and their holder, and we have access to the inside of the hull. You also have standard 2 foam foot pads for both comfort and sound deadening. It has the same vantage seat of the other Pro Anglers with all the same features. We're going to take the seat out right now. We're going to remove this clip, take the safety strap off, and you can use it as a lawn chair or a beach chair. Here we see underneath the seat we have 2 foam pads. We have another 3-way pass-through. This is for the transducer cable. This is where your Guardian transducer mount has a pulley that allows you to retract it from this handle here. We don't have it hooked up yet. We've got to install our transducer and then it'll be functional. That cable comes down through the hull over a roller in here and then connects to the Guardian plate. Tie it to the appropriate length. When you pull out on the cable, you've retracted it into the hull. When you uncleat the cable and release it, it goes back down into the water. We see our 2 scupper holes. We'll also notice on the 2024, they've reinforced the mount for the front of the seat, spreading it out over a greater area. Some of the third-party people have started selling kits for that for existing Pro Anglers. So this, I believe, is an improvement on all the 2024s, not just the XRs, but I don't know that for sure. Here we see our steering. The top knob steers the 360 drive. The lower knob steers the rudder. Right now the rudder is retracted, so we can't steer it. We can steer the rudder from here or from here. And to demonstrate, we'll grab the rudder cable, pull it out, and we just heard it go down. We can see the rudder's down. So on the starboard side, we have Guardian transducer and rudder. On the port side, we have the kickstand. This cable here pulls the kickstand out of the way to lower the seat. And I'm going to come over to the other side to do it. We also have our skeg. Works similar to the rudder. Pull in, release, and we just heard it go down. Additionally, there's a boa here that tensions your rudder cables. So over time, as the cables stretch, used to be like on my Outback, you'd have to take it apart and adjust it. Here you can just do it on the fly while you're sitting in the kayak. Like any other pro angler, it comes with an H-rail on either side. The kayak comes with a cup holder that mounts to the H-rail and two rod stagers. Rod butts go in here, rod tips go in there. We see back here our drive. This is the 360 drive. So we look in our tank well. It's got a really generous tank well, slightly bigger than my Outback, and more space back here for coolers and the like. A rod holder with a gimbal mount in the bottom for rods that have gimbal butts on them, mounts them more securely. We have the kayak paddle. We have the kayak paddle separated into two pieces. Each half is mounted into its own clip. There's a little retainer here on each side that we could strap it in so we don't lose it overboard. Move this. A rear hatch. Mostly this is giving you access when you're rigging. Some people put a little bucket in there that they keep first aid kits and things like that in it. This is useful for your sail mast. Your main sheet can go through here, or I put on a little turnbuckle so the main sheet goes through the turnbuckle and it's more efficient. This covers the rudder. If you do need to repair or work on the rudder or retension its cables, here is where you access it. We look at it from the stern, and it has the same H-rail carry handle that the other pro anglers do. It also has a drain plug on each pontoon side of the hull. Now is we can install the seat. You simply put the front portions in the bracket, drop it back onto the kickstand, take the strap, secure it, take the bungee. Now my seat is secure. If I flip the kayak, I won't lose it overboard. To lower the seat, lean forward in the seat, take weight off the kickstand, pull the cable, and gently let it down on the hull. Push forward and your weight's on the seat. If your weight on the seat, it would lower. I got it a little too low, so I'll bring it up one. Now we see the seat is in the low position. Personally, I'm probably going to keep the seat in the high position. One of the reasons to upgrade from the Outback to the Pro Angler was to get a higher seating position and have more room to store stuff underneath the seat. So to return it to the high position, just lift it up, set it on the kickstand, then crank the seat up. Now the seat's in the high position. If I don't like my seat back, I can move it forward, or I can push back against it. There it goes. And move it back. It's a little easier to do those adjustments when you're sitting in the seat. And particularly this one being brand new, it's a little stiff. There we go. So you can put your seat back wherever you want it, your seat at whatever height you want it. The back has two positions, up on the kickstand or down. So I can increase or decrease my lumbar support with the boa adjuster. We see the difference in the 360 is the shape of this area here. It also has now metal plates for mounting the drive. It has a convenient tensioner. The original drive was hard to go in and adjust and set tension on a belt. This tube is a torque tube, and there's a belt in it that's connected to the steering linkage. Periodically, as that belt stretches, you need to retension it. Right now, when I pulled up, I locked the drive in the forward position. My handle is in the forward position. If my drive is centered in the forward position, now when I put the drive in, line it up with the posts and push it down, it clicks. Typical Hobie click and go system. Now, anytime I pedal the kayak, I push it down, and now my steering will work. We can see the indicator showing the direction the fins are pointed. We just went through reverse, back to forward. Set the camera down again and just take it around the block, so to speak. So this isn't really different than the original 360. It did this just the same. The difference is when we line it up straight and we pull up, we've now locked it in a straightforward direction. The red tab here is new to the XR drive. One of the problems people had with the original 360, as this belt wore, and maybe it wasn't the correct tension, maybe it was, but it wore anyways, and it catches or breaks and it jams the drive. If the drive jammed with the fins sideways at an angle, you're not going to be able to remove the fins. So they've added this red tab. If you pull it out of the way, push this all the way down, and then you can turn the fins back to straight. Now you can release the click and go and get your drive out, recover the kayak to the beach or the boat ramp, and go down and get it repaired. Before, if that happened, you'd have to split the fins, use the clip, recover the boat, get it on shore without damage the fins as best you can, get tools, take everything apart, and then you'd be able to get the drive out. So that red tab is an improvement on the XR drive. The ability to pull up and lock the fins straight. We can pedal in a straight line with the fins straight between A and B and get to where we're going to fish without having to hold on to the handle to keep it going straight. This was my main reason for buying the 2024. There were several kayak dealers that had 2023s at a pretty decent discount, and I was tempted to buy one of those, but I'm going to put a motor on it. And I like to pedal along with the motor, so that feature of locking them straight is probably the biggest benefit, one of the biggest benefits of the XR. The ability to adjust it is on the fly and on the go is the other benefit of the XR. The third and last benefit is the red tab. If you have a failure, it makes it more convenient and easy to get the drive out so you can get the boat out of the water. So that's it for the Hobie Pro Angler 12 360 XR, the 2024 model. We're looking forward to getting it in the water and doing a sea trial on it. So stay tuned. We'll have a video on how it paddles, how it pedals, how it handles on the water. So thanks for watching.